What is going on, everybody? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome along to episode number 41 of the F1 Ultimate Career Series, the Spanish Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the last episode, make sure to go check one out before you see this one. And as always, if you are new around here, then make sure to get subscribed for more future F1 content as the series continues on. So, round 6 then of the F1 2022 season takes us to Spain for what should be, no doubt, another fascinating Spanish Grand Prix. Of course, the track having undergone a modification slightly since the last Grand Prix there in 2020 we had in Season 1. But before we do that, we've got a question in the social media department here, or in the marketing department, in terms of what to go, in terms of how to grow the brand. We'll go for social media, because obviously this is YouTube, so we'll make the move there, so we keep it as realistic as we can. All our upgrades come from the last episode going into this one failed, so the 2 durability and powertrain upgrades each both failed for this time round. But luckily we've got enough time to fix both those 2 different departments before we go to Spain, so we'll get sorted on fixing those. Plenty of resource points to use, and we'll see if we can make any more upgrades across the board prior to the Spanish Grand Prix. See what we've got left in the bank. 1.8k left in the bank. We've got to my minor chassis upgrade that'll come in before Canada the next round, and the same thing again on the aero department, so minor upgrade there too. So 6 upgrades on the board, 4 of which will come in today, and the next 2 coming in for the next episode, episode 42. In terms of the power unit, I'm not too sure in terms of how close we're getting. The MG UK looks quite close. But so far, all of our second parts have been okay, so we'll leave it for now and we'll see if we need to change it in practice. Verstappen leads the standings then after his win last time out in Miami. He's the first driver to take 2 wins this season. We sit in 4th place now, 6 points behind Sergio Perez and 9 behind Carlos Sainz. And Verstappen, though, is still trumping us in the rivalry. We do have a habit, it seems, of choosing drivers as rivals, and then they seem to go on a tear, winning race after race. So that's something we have to keep an eye out for our next rivalry. So all our upgrades coming through there, nice and easy. I think we've got we've actually got enough points on the board now to go for any more upgrades before the next race. And we've got more driver acclaim from the answer in the marketing department. So all good there. Progress made in that respect. Of course, driver acclaim doesn't really matter too much in this series to go across different games. But that'll be more or less what we need to do. So we'll move on now to get qualifying underway. So here we go now, time for qualifying for the Spanish Grand Prix, and time to make our move out onto the racetrack for our first laps of the new modified circuit. But before we do that, we've got a problem on our fuel system. We've got a fault there which takes a few minutes to fix. We'll have a look at the power unit. The MG UK is looking a lot more worn than it did prior to practice, so we'll make a change to that, I think. Everything else looks all okay across the board, but we'll have to fix that fuel system fault, and then from there we'll have to spend more time fitting the MG UK unit onto the race car. So we'll make that change now, and we'll see how long it takes us. About 4 minutes, 5 minutes, so 8 minutes overall in terms of being stuck in the pit lane. But eventually we get on the track with 7.5 minutes to go for our first lap of the Spanish circuit, and of course looking forward to driving the new modified corner, obviously in place for a good few years by this point. Let's make our way off of turn 16 and getting set for our first flying lap. They're taking quite high speed is the Barcelona circuit. We run down towards the line. One of the longest runs of the season towards turn 1, so the race start will be crucial in trying to gain a spot or 2. Hopefully we'll need to try and stick the car on pole. So going down towards turn 1, then the right-hander down a little dip in turn 1, trying to hit the curve as best we can, through turn 2 almost immediately, and on to turn 3, that long sweeping right-hander. Want to try and avoid sliding the back end of the car, avoiding any instant here, especially on the race start as well. So pushing down towards the end of the first sector now, I'm going towards turn 4, it'll be a 22.5 to kick off the start of the lap. Bit on the grass there, going through turn 4, but keeping the car under control. But on now to start the 3rd sector, and going into turn 11, of course. This is the new modified part of the circuit, making our way up the hill now. I'll tell you, it's a lot better than it used to be. The ball I going to go through turn 10, it's such a tight corner, the slight little left-hander at turn 11, and then going to turn 12. But everything seems a lot easier now, and now towards the last chicane of the circuit. Of course, the last season we'll have this chicane will be the 2 fast right-handers, turn 13 and 14 in the future. But what is now turn 16, we come to the last corner to complete our first lap. It'll be 1 minute 18.8. That's enough for P10, so not a fantastic start there. Clearly work to be done on our second lap. So we'll come back in and we'll obviously put our fresh set of soft tyres on. We'll leave 1 more for the Grand Prix should we need it. We'll accelerate time. Only 4 minutes left, so we'll accelerate to the point where hopefully we'll be the last car out on track setting a time. And we'll look to try and push towards the top 5, top 6. Ocon P5 right now, doing a fantastic job there in the Alpine. Obviously, let's try and trump him in the late stages if we can. So on to our last lap, then 4 tenths up in the final sector, into turn 13, keeping the car nice and under control. Of course, the curbs in turns 14 and 15 be crucial, trying to avoid hitting those too much, to losing less time, avoiding that yellow sausage curb on corner exit out turn 15 too, and towards turn 16 now to complete our lap, half a second improvement, and up to the line it's P6, so onto the 3rd row of the grid. Not fantastic, but given we were in P10 on our first run, not a lot we can do. I feel like we can still make some progress in the Grand Prix, so I'm not too disappointed.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Verstappen, Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. With qualifying wrapped up now, we have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
So Verstappen on pole once again, then our teammate Lewis Hamilton in second, and Charles Leclerc rounds out the top 3. Ocon in front by 0.06 of a second, so very close in qualifying there. But honestly, I feel like from here we've got the pace to get on the podium again, perhaps even win the race. We'll have to wait and see. But now it's time to jump onto the grid and get ready for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix.
The Spanish Grand Prix has been a permanent fixture on the Formula One calendar for over 30 years now, and for good reason. Do you remember Michael Schumacher's absolute dominance here in that rain-soaked Grand Prix in 1996? That day he took his first ever victory for Ferrari, and we've had many more iconic moments since. The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, a track that will certainly force the drivers to push themselves. It consists of a very impressive main straight going into turn 1. It's a straight that also offers a DRS zone, so it's likely to be a hotspot for overtakes. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Esteban Ocon, Cohen, Magnussen, Perez, Ricciardo and Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Joe, Mick Schumacher and Bottas, Vettel, Albon, Lando Norris, they've taken a grid penalty, and Yuki Tsunoda, Stroll and Nicholas Latifi. And now it's time to head down to the track. And a warm welcome to Natalie Pinkham, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Let's talk about Cohen. That was a great podium in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
Here we go then, no more talking, time for action for the Spanish Grand Prix from 6th place on the starting grid and looking for our second win of the season. In terms of strategy for the race, then of course we tried the alternate strategy in Miami last time out, it didn't pay off, so we'll stick to default, mediums to hards. And in terms of pit lap, we'll pit on lap 14, we'll go a lap earlier and see if we can take any advantage out of that. Lower the fuel ever so slightly, and we're now ready to race.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? We'll soon find out.
3 outliers then, both Red Bulls on the hard tyres to start this race and Leclerc on the softs.
As the cars make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out, let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one that will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books.
So off the last corner then and preparing for the race start, as I say, longest run of the season towards turn 1. An opportunity to try and gain some place. I think we'll try and target Ocon off the start going towards turn 1. I have to keep an eye out for the Haas behind us of Kevin Magnussen. Of course, Sergio Perez will be charging up for the field as well in order to try and get himself closer to his teammate and the race leader and championship leader Verstappen. Of course, could try and jump Perez with a good result today in the standings. Things go well for us, but lining up now, taking our spot in P6. Magnussen lining up alongside us there in P7, but the last few cars, Stroll and Latifi, taking their place at the back of the grid. We've got 32 laps of racing coming our way here in Barcelona as Latifi takes his spot. Here come the lights now. Verstappen and Hamilton on the front row for the 6th race of 2022. To get the Spanish Grand Prix underway, it's lights up to the floor and it's go, go, go. Decent getaway there. Magnussen with a great start on the left going down towards that first corner. But in the second phase of the start, we jump in front using us with our overtake going towards that first corner. Ocon opens the door up on the inside going towards the right-hander of turn 1. Down the inside of the Frenchman in the Alpine, narrowly avoiding contact and up into P5. So 1 place gain then off the start in the opening corners through turn 3 now. Trying to catch up to Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. Hamilton away with the lead, sliding the back end there going through that third corner and keeping an eye out on the back end of the race car trying to avoid losing it going out the corner. But at the end of the first sector though, 1 place gained already, and we'll get to working on Sainz, then Verstappen and Leclerc. As we're down towards turn 10 for the first time in this Grand Prix. Sainz the outside of Verstappen going towards the left-hander. They'll try and find a way past whoever loses this fight as we make our way through the now very modified left-hander turn 11 up towards turn number 12 now. Sainz with a better line on the inside, but Verstappen hanging tough there on the high line going off the corner and towards turn 13. Verstappen goes wide. We take full advantage of that. Goes siding up the inside of the championship leader and up into 4th place now. So that's 2 places gained on this first lap. On our next target to go onto the podium is Carlos Sainz. Once again, Hamilton and Leclerc pulling away. Hamilton will lead the first lap. Leclerc on those soft tyres in second. We have to keep an eye out to make sure we don't lose too much time to those 2 race leaders as we make our way back towards turn 1. Onto lap 3 now. DRS in play for the first time on the main straight. So make our way down to the last corner. Once again, Carlos Sainz will be dead set in our sights to make our way off the corner. DRS in play for both cars. Sainz gets it off Leclerc in front. Leclerc may try and challenge Lewis for the lead, but Arcade is trying to take Sainz from third place. They make a way to going towards the inside and might try and make a move to the outside to turn 1, following in the wake of the Ferrari, going around the outside into the braking zone and into turn 2 now, securing the third place spot. So onto the podium then for the first time today, and with the fastest lap to boot as well. Onto lap 5, Leclerc closing Hamilton now, might try and go to the outside. Yes, he will. To the outside of our teammate for the race leader, gets all out of shape in turn 1. We'll take advantage of that and go around the outside of turn 2 once again. We're in P2 now. Mercedes 1-2. Ferrari 3-4, and for Red Bull in 5th place and 7th place. Perez struggling behind Ocon right now. Further on to lap 5 and coming towards the end of the lap now, and on to lap 6. Lewis is now our last target between us and the race leader. We have DRS this time. Lewis will have no defence against us as we make our way off the last corner. It'll be a long run towards that first corner. Plenty of time to make that move, to make our way onto lap 6 this Grand Prix. Still a long way to go. We can try and take the lead early on though, going towards that first corner, making our move to the inside of the racetrack now. And trying to, Lewis tries to defend, tries to cover the inside off. We'll get to his inside first though, and into turn 1. It's a 5-car train here, and around the outside of our teammate at turn 2 and into turn 3, securing the lead. Lewis is there on the outside. We've managed to take the spot away, and for the first time today, we lead the Spanish Grand Prix. Hamilton 2nd, Leclerc still hanging tough in 3rd, Sainz 4th, and Max Verstappen clinging on those hard tyres in 5th place. What is the game plan for Red Bull? Trying to go longer into the Grand Prix like they did in Miami perhaps, is to make way further onto lap 7 now. Yellow flags behind us. Looks like one of the Alpines has got problems of some kind. Not sure it's Ocon, it's Alonso, and the home hero goes out the Grand Prix so early on in this thing. What has happened to Alonso? I was hoping for a minute it wasn't Ocon, given how good his qualifying was, but Alonso's been mid-pack all weekend, and what's happened to the Spaniard here is he comes off of turn 9, no smoke, the car seems to be all fine until he makes his way down towards turn 10 and pulls it over, and there goes Ricciardo around his outside, going into turn 10, and Alonso pulls it over, and that's it, race done for the Spaniard. So on to lap 14 though, we managed to maintain our race lead down to 19 cars in this race, and Hamilton closing in. We're onto our pit lap here, as Hamilton pulls to the outside of the racetrack, might try and swipe the lead back, going into turn 10. We're on the inside, got the better line going in over the curbs bit and forcing him out by accident. Didn't mean to do that, obviously going over the curbs, not the best idea. Leclerc pitted a few laps off with soft tyres. Verstappen and Perez still behind us there. Verstappen is with our train. Perez is now pulled away from Ocon and is trying to chase us down as we come through turns 13 and now 14 and 15 to get towards the pit lane to make our first stop of this Grand Prix, and our only stop of this Grand Prix, onto the set of hard tyres. Hamilton will stay out front and will maintain the lead. Sainz in 2nd now. Verstappen will move into 3rd, into the pit lane for our stop, keeping full focus on pace 6. Obviously, wants to try and beat these guys out. Optimal turning, pitting a lap earlier than everyone else and making our stop onto the hard tyres now. The pit crew doing their work and coming out for 2.4 second stop, and we are away. And crucially, where will we rejoin? Because we don't want to get caught in traffic. We don't get stuck behind Leclerc, for example. I should think we've maintained the spot over him. Mick Schumacher is coming up close behind us. I think he'll be the car we're chasing. He's making our way down towards turn 1, out the pit exit now, and get back up to speed, up to full song. Once again, going towards turn 1. Schumacher is on our left, they're going towards that first corner. It's going to be very close here. We're going to just about hold him off into the first corner, and the sophomore Haas will stay behind for now. So P11 for us right now. Of course, everyone else will pit, and we'll come through to try and take our spots back onto the end of lap 15, start lap 16 now. Sainz and Hamilton both coming in. Verstappen staying on those hard tyres for a bit longer, going towards turn 1. Where are Sainz and Hamilton, going down towards turn 1. They've already jumped us, and we've actually fallen behind those two race cars. So not a fantastic move in terms of strategy. Then we still kept the strategy how it was. Sainz takes the place. Hamilton 2nd in line, and we're now 3rd in this little train. Obviously, a lot further back in this Grand Prix from the race leader. Obviously, to the inside of Hamilton though, going through turn 3 and towards turn 4 now. Saw a chance to try and take our teammate on into turn 4, and on the inside getting the run that we need. But Hamilton still down the outside, not letting us breathe just yet. And on corner exit from 4 going towards turn 5. We'll jump into the place once again and moving into P6 behind Sainz. Obviously, I have to try and get back around Sainz at this point in the Grand Prix. But Verstappen and Perez still on the racetrack on those hard tyres. What's their game plan? Going later on into their first stint to make our way through, closing on Sainz on lap 17 there. Perez has got a problem of some kind. He's going to make a way through. He makes his way through turn 4. No smoke from that car, but he's pulling it over. And that could be it for one of the two Red Bulls out of this Grand Prix. I was hoping to be Verstappen, because obviously I feel like he's the main threat in this Grand Prix. And he is the championship leader after all. But it turns out that the reliability that Red Bull had last season has not left that race car, as Perez, obviously our replacement coming into 2022, is dealing with the same problems we have. So there goes Sainz and myself, Hamilton and Leclerc in behind. So a little 4-car train here, now up into 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. And Verstappen, the 1 car in front of us yet to pit, onto lap 18 now and charging towards turn 1 again. Got a bit of a gap on Hamilton and Leclerc, and Sainz is in our sights going towards turn 1 once again. It's quite a dive here to make a move to the inside from as far back as we are, but into the first corner though, diving in, close to contact with Sainz, going over the yellow sausage curbs again, and this time avoiding contact with another car. So up into P2 now, Verstappen is 22 seconds up the road here. I'm not too sure how long the pit lane is. Sainz gets all out of shape there as Hamilton makes the chase now and takes P3 away. On to lap 24, Verstappen is coming into the pit lane now. Moment of truth from the Dutchman as he is there on those hard tyres and will likely be on to a set of mediums, even a set of soft at this stage of the Grand Prix. He's making a change as we speak. Verstappen's on the soft tyres now. It's going to be crucial we beat him out here, because if we don't beat him out, that could be game over given how fast though he'll be on those soft tyres. Where are we coming out the last corner? Verstappen's on his way down towards the pit exit. We see our maker exit out of turn 16, but Verstappen is at the pit exit already and going back up the racetrack again, and he's beaten us out by a long way. We've been tactically outsmarted by our former employers Red Bull, and Verstappen is a long way in front going towards turn 1. He is checked out at this stage of the Grand Prix to make our way through that first corner and into turn 2. Verstappen is away, and on those soft tyres, it'll be near impossible to a run now unless something goes wrong on that Red Bull. We've seen it in recent races that Verstappen has had problems at certain points in the Grand Prix, but this time he looks unstoppable, and Red Bull look to be on for victory with the Dutchman despite Perez's retirement. It'll be P2 for us at best here to push on to the last lap of this Grand Prix. Verstappen 10.9 seconds in front with the fastest lap to boot. We have been completely humiliated and outsmarted by the Red Bull tacticians today, and Verstappen is coming through taking full advantage of that and will come through to take his 3rd win of the season. It's going to take some beating. It's going to take something to catch Verstappen over the course of the next 10 races. He comes to the line and wins the Spanish Grand Prix, extending his lead in the championship. We're coming through turns 14 and 15 now to cap off this race. The pace was good. The strategy, perhaps not so much, put us behind Sainz and Hamilton, cost us some time. But towards the line, the end, it's P2 once more, another podium finish, and closing in on the rest of our rivals in the standings. But Verstappen is going to take some catching over the rest of this season. There's a long way to go, though, and plenty of time for that to happen. So we'll move on to the next race in Canada and hope that we can potentially, next time, try and get the better of Verstappen and Red Bull.
Brilliant stuff from Red Bull today. What a superb victory. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out of the track was: speed. It sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sports that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
Win number 3 then on the season for Max Verstappen as he chases that maiden World Championship, having been denied for the last 2 seasons. It looks like this could be his time unless we or Ferrari can stop him. But the celebrations begin on the podium. Verstappen with the win. We finish 2nd in the end, and Carlos Sainz takes his 1st podium at his home race in 3rd. So a fantastic day for him personally. But we'll have to have a look then at the standings, see how much we've gained on our rivals, have we taken any places at all, and how far in front Verstappen is after taking 3 wins this season.
And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
It's got to be Lando Norris, hasn't it? Smooth, confident and assured. I've got no doubt that he and his team are going to be over the moon with his performance today.
Let's move on to the constructors. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull. It was also a strong Grand Prix from Haas F1 this weekend. Fantastic work from the American team to move themselves further up the table. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Verstappen wins then. We finish 2nd and Sainz in 3rd. Hamilton finishes 4th. Leclerc rounds at the top 5. Ocon, fantastic weekend for him. He finishes 6th. Ricciardo, Norris, Magnussen and Gasly round off the top 10 with the Alfa Romeos just behind in 11th and 12th. Solid day then in terms of gain, in terms of starting position compared to the end of the race. It was all good there, but Verstappen, like I say, will take some beating. And look at the standings now. Verstappen 27 points in front of Sainz in 2nd. We're up to 3rd place now. We're only 33 points off the lead. A win or 2, we could be right back in the conversation. But it's going to take some work to actually outsmart these guys over the course of the season. Red Bull 26 points in front of Ferrari now. May have lost a bit of gap there thanks to Perez's DNF. And we sit 54 points back, in 3rd place. But guys, that'll do it for this episode of the F1 Ultimate Career Series. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, as always, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more future F1 content. Have an absolutely fantastic day. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.